what's up? I'm Anthony J.R. I'm here representing Palmwine Experience, and I'm here with producer, DJ, and also one of the pioneers of this Afrobeat going on right now, Mr. Juls.
What's happening, my bro?
I'm good, man. How you doing today,
I'm
man?
Good, bro. I'm good, good. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I know you came from London not too long ago. You came over here yesterday, right?
Yeah. We've been here for a day. I had a club night last night. Fire. It was good vibes, man. It's my first time in Seattle, so very interesting, very techy.
Yeah, you know,
they got the whole Amazon, Microsoft set up. So it's quite interesting. I didn't think that there was a growing scene of African music in the States, so it's actually quite interesting to see how far it's come.
Because I was always telling people, like, when you think about like East Coast, or you think about like, you being in the UK and down south and stuff, you wouldn't think Pacific Northwest has the Afrobeat thing going on. So it was kind of like a transition. It's been something that's been kind of going on, and I'm super appreciative of it right now. So
100%.
so just to kind of go into it, you've always been the misconception about you is that although you produced a lot of songs for Nigerian artists, people believe that you are Nigerian when you're actually from Ghana. Like, is that something that kind of affects you negatively? Like, man, they should think that I'm like, do their research and think like I'm from Ghana, or
no, not really. I think it's just the circumstances that present themselves. I mean, I have cut records for some Ghanaian artists before, but I think the type of music that I have been making the past couple of years sort of gravitate towards them more. Only because they're the ones that have been knocking on my door quite frequently. But I have a 5-year plan to literally just sort of build a certain sound that I know that will be good with my Ghanaian people at a certain point, which I hope that will cross over. Do you know what I mean? I don't get offended. Do you know what I mean? Like, I got loads of Ghanaian friends. No, not Ghanaian friends. So no Nigerian friends. My godfather is Nigerian. My god sisters are Nigerian. When I went to school, all my roommates were Nigerians as well. So, for me, it's all the same, really. Like, that whole Ghanaian Nigerian relationship is kind of, apart from the fact that the jollof is trash. Apart from that,
we had this guy.
apart from the fact that the jollof is trash, apart from that, no, I mean, we all one, I don't do that whole beef thing, but I just like to speak facts.
I think it's always gonna be biased because you being from Ghana, me being from Nigeria, I'm always gonna vouch say that Jollof is better on my side.
Do your thing, bro. I mean, for me, I don't understand why you guys are making jollof rice with long rice in the first place. Basmati rice is the way forward. But I think maybe in the past as well, you guys used to kick our ass heavy in football. And then got to a certain point, then we were killing the game. Now our team is trash, so you guys are kicking our asses, but it is what it is.
So as we're continuing to talk about Nigeria and Ghana, as far as music goes, if it was to be somebody that was unfamiliar with Afrobeat or African music, being from both Nigeria and Ghana, what would you say would be the differentiator to be able to tell which is which, or would you say there is one?
No, not really. I think what it is with our music, and this is even dating back to the 60s and the 70s when it was Afrobeat. So the likes of, well, that's even too far, but like the likes of the Funkies, Fela, Tony Allen, and then who are from Nigeria, and then we have the likes of E.T. Mensah and Abel Taylor, from Ghana. Those sounds are very similar. So I feel like Ghana and Nigeria, our sounds have been similar from time ago. It's just the language that's different. But with regards to the sonics, they're quite similar. I would only say that maybe the way our drums or our percussion or our progression with certain instruments, whether it's the guitars or the keys or the saxes, are slightly different, but they're very similar. You know what I'm saying?
And then,
yeah, I don't think there's really that much of a differentiation. All I'd say is that when it comes to our music, we're very, very, very particular about how powerful our instrumentation should be.
yeah,
And instrumentation is kind of like what moves the crowd. You know, the vocals or the lyrics are very minimal. And then very repetitive, so people will be able to catch on to that. But it literally just moves, you know, the crowd. That's really what our music is about. You know, moving people, making people dance. And sometimes there's a positive message. Most times there's a positive message in there. Either we're talking about love, or fella who used to talk about, you know, issues that the country was facing with regards to the government, corruption, you know, expensive, you know, stuff, inflation, all of that. So yeah, I think there's not really a differentiation, in my opinion, anyway. To be honest.
Would you say so? Would you say it's safe to say that Nigerian music, Ghanaian, excuse me, music, it's just safe to say that this is just African music?
Yeah, it's just African music. I feel like at the moment we need to be factual that when it comes to African music, Nigeria is at the forefront at the moment. Like it's not even a debate.
Yeah.
You know, you guys have been dominant for a while, and then the artists, Wiz, Burna, David, Techno, Tiwa Savage, Yemi Alade, like they have been dominating their genres or their craft for years and years and years. Not to say that Ghana hasn't been, because we've got the likes of Sarkodie, Stonebwoy, Kwesi Arthur, Kim Promise, so many artists from Ghana that have been doing their thing for a long time, that have, you know, got global recognition. But in terms of who's at the forefront, it's definitely Nigeria. But Ghana is coming there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the transition of Afrobeat coming into the U.S. I think, you know, we both know Afrobeat music or African music has just been around for such a long time. It's been very prominent, of course, in the UK. It's been, of course, in the continent of Africa. But it wasn't until maybe this year and a couple of years prior that people started to really like gravitate towards Afrobeat. Some people look at it as being like it could be just a little trend right now because of it just being popular here. But then also people are kind of happy that now that people in the U.S. are appreciating Afrobeat and it's now on a wider scale. Like, what would you say your thoughts are on that?
Afrobeats music is it's more of a movement and a culture, and I feel like because of that, that's why it's got everybody's attention. You know, it's not just about the music; it's about, you know, trends, what we speak about, you know, the way we dress, certain people who are part of that movement. And when we come to the music aspect of things, you know, the type of collaborations that are being done, you know, so Wizkid collaborating with Drake, you know, Beyonce, you know, doing a whole album for The Lion King, and having all of these guys from Africa on this project is just massive. You know, it's been nominated for a Grammy as well. It's a massive opportunity for Africa as well. I think Afrobeats, the genre, sort of like got popular because it was really pushed from the UK. We actually kind of coined the term. At first, it was just dubbed, you know, African music or Afro, whatever it was, because there's so many subgenres of African music. We have high life, we have hip life, we have Fuji, um, you know, so many different genres of music. And so Afrobeats is literally tapping into all of these subgenres, and it's kind of merged together with whatever local dialect that it is. Now it's become a bit more not socially acceptable, more global, because that sound has been tapped into by a lot of people. You know, Drake has done an Afrobeat record, Beyonce has, flipping Major Lazer, you know, Walshify and all those guys. They've been very sort of interested in that genre of music, and a lot of shows have been had, and so it's spreading quite quickly. And I guess because of those collaborative efforts, people started paying attention. It's still growing, and it could get bigger and bigger. But the collaboration is very important. It's very important to protect the collaboration.
Absolutely.
You need to be very particular about who you collaborate with, and you're not dumbing down the sound or watering it down. I feel like that's what happened with dancehall. at a certain point in time.
Yeah.
When you just had all sorts of odd people trying to collaborate with some of these dancehall artists, making these kind of records, and it just went left. So I wouldn't want the same to happen with Afrobeats, where we're just collaborating for the sake of collaborating's sake, and it doesn't really sound as authentic. It's already started happening, but I feel like with Africans, what we're doing is we're literally protecting our sound and keeping it within ourselves. So once we protect our sound and the narrative, we should be good, man.
Yeah. So I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday when we were chatting, but how do you now feel about the people, with that being said, the people that, whether they're just people, celebrities, artists, etc., that have always been African by blood, now wanting to push that narrative of them being an Afrobeat or a Nigerian or African or something like that.
I mean, but we need to face facts, and it even happened in the UK. Being African was not cool.
Yeah, I remember. I remember. They used to call, remember, they may have had the term there, but I know in the U.S. they used to have that term like African booty scratcher.
Yeah. I mean, being African was not cool. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people just used to lie at that when they were African. They would say they're Caribbean because these times in the UK, being a Caribbean was the coolest thing. Jamaican, we had the Nottingham Carnival, and stuff like that. Just doing stuff that came across as cool. You know what I mean? If you're African, you're seen a certain way. I think for me, my parents always made it a point to make me know where I was from. Do you understand? And it even happened with music that was played in the house. We were always playing African music, high life. You know what I mean? But I don't know, I guess it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. But it's a lesson. You understand? I feel like future-wise, we should definitely teach our kids about where we're from the beginning. Rather than do a thing where it's like, oh, because Africa is so cool now we want to put our flags in our bio. Because some of us weren't even repping Africa like that. We say, oh yeah, man, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Or I'm from Atlanta, Southside, this and that. Never gonna say Nigeria. Now people are doing their research about where they're from originally, which is great, because reading and research is good. So it's encouraging people to read more into the narrative of things, educate people and stuff like that. I think the rate of people doing their ancestral test has gone up now because people really want to see whether they have any African roots and stuff like that. So I guess it's a positive thing, because then when people discover where they're from, people with the knowledge and the background who will be able to provide and invest in the development of Africa can go back home and do bigger things to sort of, just develop the continent. You know what I'm saying? So, because illiteracy is one of our inhibitors for development. So,
So what would you say now, just to step away a little bit from Afrobeat? I think you could say maybe a couple of years ago or so as well, the narrative has always been, DJs and producers kind of play the background of an artist. But now you see a lot more of the producers and the DJs being at the forefront now in music, whatever genre they're in. So can you kind of feel that right now, as far as like now that you've been making these hits and stuff?
I think what it was is the average artist just really wasn't putting any respect on a lot of the producers and DJs' name. I mean, you need to think about it for a second, right? It's the beat that moves the crowd. It's the DJ that makes the record what it is. The DJ is such an important part of the culture, whatever genre it is. If the DJ is not playing your record is not important.
It's not going anywhere.
So you have to respect the DJ, and it's not just about playing hot records. The DJ also has to be very aware of, the history of certain genres of music. There's no way that I'm going to be in a club DJing Afrobeats and I'm not aware of certain sources of certain things. You know what I'm saying? So I need to do my research as well. As a producer, we, do our research with regards to sound, what's trending, and we sort of dictate or direct the artist in terms of the sound. We are involved in the songwriting process, because a lot of artists don't write their own songs. So the producer, the songwriters, the DJs, those are the key people. And I feel like it just got to a point where, you know, it was always about the artist,
Yeah.
which is great because the artist is like the forefront of the product. But how did that product come together?
Exactly.
And so a lot of that got neglected. So I think now what's happening is a lot of producers slash DJs are making a brand for themselves and saying, listen, I've created this sound, check me out.
Yeah.
Because now you can actually just make beats and instrumentals and literally DJ with these instrumentals because that's what moves the crowd.
Yeah.
There's a platform called Selection
Yeah.
that is literally dedicated to like producers and DJs showcasing their sound as well. So, I mean, you know, more platforms are being built to sort of showcase these things, and people are beginning to be aware of who the tastemakers of certain sounds are. And it builds the profile of these producers. You know, that price goes up.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody walks into them and say, oh, that's Juls, he produced this record. Oh, that's J5, he produced this record. Oh, that's SARS. Oh, that's Malik Berry, that's KLP. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, all of these producers, people are like, oh, this guy created a certain sound. And there's sort of like a level. And then we're able to come to the table with our cars to be like, all right, do you know what I'm saying? It's just
absolutely.
sort of like a respect thing. And at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, we need to eat at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of producers have been hungry over the years, and they just want a lot of hot artists to jump on their beats.
Yeah.
So that they can feel good about themselves. And then some of them don't even get paid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Yeah. So I
That's
know
how
you.
I feel.
Yeah. I know you got one more day in Seattle. We got we got champagne there. We got Jollof.
Trying to get
we got a lot more people coming in. So I don't want to take up too much of your time, but man, I appreciate you taking the time out just to chop it up with me about Afrobeat, a little bit of what you got going on and stuff. But let's go ahead and go over there, man. Thank you, man.
Pleasure, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, bro.